Everyone, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, so don't base anything I say out these videos. I'm just doing it for pure entertainment purposes only. Want to jump in because I think I figured something out, a weird little tactic that's been going on. I've been getting a lot of random ass weird dudes that comment on my page. I hear a lot of "I like you, but," and I get that a lot on my Facebook, or not my Facebook, on my YouTube. That one kind of cracks me up. But what I've noticed, not with just me, but with other people's pages, I've seen in the comments on multiple social media type platforms where they're saying, like, oh, my average is way low. I've got a very low average. My average is only $4, $3. And I feel like there is a lot of people that actually do have that average, but I do feel there's a psychological effect to that because they're trying to get in your head almost like, oh man, well, my average isn't that low. And the best way, well, now what I'm starting to see is people suggesting, oh, well, sell your shares and rebuy back in. The reason I don't like to do that personally is if you sell your shares, you have OG shares. That's the stuff they want back. They don't want the synthetics or whatever. Even if it is just synthetics, I don't know. Like I said, I don't have factual evidence of any of that. But if you sell your shares back, they can reuse them and recirculate them. But if you're holding shares, it's harder, I believe, in my personal opinion, for them to move those around. So that's why I don't sell. That's why I don't care if my average is higher. But I do see a lot of people bragging about how low their average is. And then now I've seen people saying, well, why don't you just sell your shares and rebuy back in? Two things about that. One, I just covered, because I don't like to put my shares back into the market because I think it makes it easier for them to loan and clone and so on and so on, so forth, and repeat. Secondly, because even if you do that, you have a wash sell rule. So even if your broker says, hey man, I got a $15 average and I sold all my shares, let's just say you got 100 shares, you sell them all, you buy back in at $3.50. Now, the next day or even an hour later, whatever, it lets you do that, It's going to say you have a $3.50 average, but you don't. Because at the end of the year, when you file your taxes, or at some point it'll get noticed and your average will still go back up to what it was previously. So it doesn't work like that. To average down like that, you would have to sell your shares and wait 30 days before you buy back in. For me, I don't like to do that because if anything happens or pops in between time, then I'm trying to buy back in, or it's up higher and you're right back to where you're at, or it's just for me, it's just not what I like to do personally. If you wanted to do that, you could, but like I said, I think it puts the shares back in to circulate, loan and clone over and over, in my personal opinion. And then also, it like I said, you have to have that wash sell rule. Thirdly, I don't want to put myself in a position where this thing rips, I'm trying to buy back in and I can't. Or, you sell your shares and you decide, oh, I'm going to use it for this bill or that bill, or I'm going to use it over here. And then by the time it's time to buy back in, I don't know. You make your own personal decisions. But I do feel there's a narrative of almost like a shill tactic of trying to, make you psychologically feel bad that your average isn't high or low like theirs. You know what I mean? And then I do believe there's just people that really do have that low average, but I think a lot of these are not real averages. I'm telling you, man, I've been on multiple social media accounts and I've seen similar type responses of, oh, I'm only $4. I can't believe your average is that high. And then I start thinking, like, to get it that low, you either had to have been buying heavy, which is very possible. I'm not saying there is some of you that really do have that heavy, recently, and maybe not so heavy when the reverse split happened, or you just barely bought in, which is fine too. None of that's an issue. But the issue, I think, is when you start telling people, oh, just sell your shares and rebuy back in. Wouldn't it make sense? And obviously you're free to do what you want. You make your own personal financial decisions. But for me, the way I've been playing this is buy and hold, and not release it. I got a grip on my shares. I don't want to let them go. I don't want to sell them back, because my original thesis in this whole play was they need those original shares back. So I don't know, not even just the originals. I think, like I said, I think if you sell anything, like let's say you have 100 shares and let's just say 50 of them are official legit shares and 50 of them are just recycled lended shares or double stamped shares, whatever the case is. and you sell 50 only, they're going to take the old 50 and let you keep the other ones. You know what I mean? So just my thoughts. Also, it's not to be, don't be afraid if you're buying now, even if you are buying a synthetic, which I have no proof of, but if you are buying something like that, at the end of the day, if it gets a margin call that this thing rips and you sell it, you're still gonna get your money. So don't have no fear of that either. But have a good day, be blessed. Let's get rich soon. Peace.